What's shaking? Hey, it's good to hear you again and for you to hear me. I can hear you through whatever, through the universe, through everything else, because I know that you're excited to hear from my guest today. I was just on her show a little bit ago, and it was a freaking amazing time, because she believes your business is a powerful vehicle for you to be who God created you to be. And she's on a mission to have fun, for entrepreneurs to have fun and live the life that they want. Katie Richardson, what's shaking?
Rick, so good to be here. Thank you for having me. So excited to hopefully inspire some people in their own journey and help them see maybe their next step.
That's what it's about, right? I see your first brand, which is interesting. Now, I try to do this to not do too much research because it provides for better conversation. Is it Pooge? P-U-G?
Pudge.
Pudge. It is Pudge.
Like
Why does it
baby
look like
Pudge, but it is spelled P-U-J.
I'm laughing at myself. It's good to laugh at yourself, right? I apologize for botching that.
It's an international company, and people say it all kinds of different ways. In India, they say it Pooey.
Pooey? What?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. It was a strategic name. Do you want to hear the story behind it?
I would love to, please. Yeah, that was your first brand. Kick it.
Yeah, I started that company in 2007. And I needed to own the .com, right? I wanted a name that I could own and trademark and own the .com, and a name that was going to be mine domestically and internationally. And so I was just doing lots of searches, and I had a longer company name previously. And I was like, you know what? I want something really simple that's 3 letters. So I just started writing a bunch of 3-letter words. And my mom had a friend growing up. She was called Pudge. That was like her name as a baby, and it stuck with her still as an adult.
Wow.
And I was like, that is a really cute, it's a name that it's endearing, right? It's this endearing baby Pudge, chubby baby. And that's what my company was all about, was about the baby.
Is it endearing as an adult though?
No, definitely not. That's kind of what sparked the idea when I was writing in my journal. What about Pudge? Like, that's a chubby, happy baby. And I'd had really big, chubby, happy babies. And so it kind of became representative of this company, and all of our products are all about the baby. It's not about the things and the instruction manuals that come with things. It was really about your time and experience with your child and allowing you to really bond with them. So that's where that came from.
That's so cool.
Pudge.com.
That's amazing. I love the story because, you didn't want to have it perfect right away. You just had certain criteria that you wanted, right? And I think a lot of entrepreneurs will miss this, right? Because who knows? 2007, that was a while ago. We're talking 15 years ago. And for it to become this amazing worldwide sensation, right? That's not something that you generally set out to do right away. At least you don't know what your ducks in a row are even going to look like.
Sure.
So when you find this name, it's like, oh, that's cool. Let's see if this sticks, right? I love that you just went with it. That's awesome. It's for babies too. And this is something we talked a little bit on your show about. Was, how you're a mom, obviously you're a wife too, and you're a CEO. You moved to Puerto Rico, I believe, if I remember right, to help with something like this, juggling it all. How do you do it?
Sure. Well, Pudge is a company that I sold 5 years ago. And today I coach entrepreneurs, and it's KatieRichardson.com is my business today. And how do I do it all? It's about understanding what matters to you. And so, just like that list of criteria for developing my business name, I've done a list of criteria for what I want my life and my day to look like. And so as a coach, I set some really clear constraints around this coaching business that I have. Inside of Pudge, it was a big business, 20,000 square foot warehouse, 15 plus employees, international team, distributors in 26 different countries. And it was really big and complex. And when I sold that company, I was like, you know what? I kind of want the opposite. I want a really simple business that allows me to be present with my kids, and at the same time, to continue to grow and develop as a human being. And so when I went into this world, I made a decision. I was like, I don't want to work more than 15 hours a week. And so that means I have an incredible team. It means they take what I do with clients, either privately or in groups, and they leverage it. And so that is what my life looks like today. I'm able to help entrepreneurs grow and develop as a CEO and as a leader, and ultimately to build a business that they want, right? They have this vision and this dream, and I'm going to show them how to do that. More importantly, I'm showing them who they need to be in order to build and create that business. And honestly, like that's the obstacle is as they're building the business, they start to hit this plateau, which is extremely frustrating. And, how do you move past that? It's by developing you, because the business has now become limited to your personal capacity, which I'm sure you totally understand.
So true. Yeah.
Rick. And so
your business, your revenue, your family, everything is always limited by where you're at in your own personal growth journey. 100%. What I appreciate about everything you just said, and here's what I hear. So, which is great. Yeah. Several things. One, and as you were talking about, women, especially, and all these things, right? And I'm thinking I don't even want to say professional women, because if I look at the other side of that, it's like how many women want to be, and I say this with all the love, only a mom, right? And when I say that like devoting 100% of their time, not 100% of themselves, because I think it's very possible to devote 100% of yourself to multiple different things in your life, right? If it's being a CEO, an entrepreneur, a product, and your family and your husband as a woman, I'm sure, as you find out, it is possible to devote 100% of yourself to each of those priorities in your life. The time is the thing that you have to get creative with, because that is the only finite thing. But how you went into that, and I'm giving you huge mad props right now, because when you said, I wrote it down and this is what I wanted it to look like, and now this is how it is. Yeah, that's a huge thing. And you know what? It's you put forethought into it, because entrepreneurs, I'm one of them. I'm guilty of this. I fly by the seat of my pants with a lot of stuff and be like, we're going to make it work. Right. But there's a lot of stuff too that I look out. It's like it's like outcome based vision dreaming, and like this is how I see it happening. And as long as you can have that in sight, because then when you write it down, that's great. It's still written down and it sears it into your memory. But where you excelled, and that's why I'm giving you such a huge compliment on this, is you put intention into this. And intention is only created by action.
Yes.
Past that, because if it's written down, that's great. But if you're not doing any freaking thing about it, there is no intention to it, because intention is only created by action. Brilliant.
Yes. And what you're seeing, Rick, is the result of my college education. I was trained as a product designer. And, we think of these ideas and they float around in our head, but nothing happens with that idea until you start to sketch it out and you turn it around visually and in your sketch even. What does it look like from the back, and what mechanisms, what materials is it made out of, and how does somebody interact with it? What are the proportions? I've done the same thing as a product designer, right? Which I did in my company, Pudge. I've done the same thing, designing and creating a product with my life and my business, right? I'm a mother for my kids homeschool, and we are living on the beaches of Puerto Rico. And this is a life that I have designed for myself, and then went through the process of pulling that idea, that concept, which was just a dream on a whiteboard, and literally pulling that into my reality. And it's my life right now today.
That's fantastic.
It's that design process. It's that creation process and the intention. And to your point, nothing happens though until you start taking action.
Oh man. Yeah. So we've been on this cloud nine since we started yet. And now let's, I might pull you down into the depths of hell a little. Okay.
Go for it.
Because
let's go there.
Everything you're talking about, it's great and it sounds amazing. And you see the results of it. I'm sure to be relatable for all women that are listening.
Yes. Yeah.
Those moments where you're like, oh God, I mean, like literally God above, how could I possibly be a mom and run a business and be a spouse all at the same time, and those moments of feeling overwhelmed? How did those feel to you?
I mean, in the very, very early days, I'm talking like 2008, 2009, when my business was really starting to take off, I was fully confronted by those fears, big time, because I could see that I was tired, that I was spent, that I wasn't giving my kids my best self. I was ignoring them with this belief that I just need to work a little bit more. And then there's magically somehow going to be more time. And then I'll be able to put you guys to bed and feed you the food that I know I need to be feeding you and taking care of you. Right. And there was this one day, Rick, where I realized I was running out of patience by 10 a.m. And my fear was, if I continue to build this business in this way, it will destroy my relationship with my kids, maybe even my marriage. And that's not okay with me. Like, I could see where that road was going. And I was, months down that road, but I was projecting it forward. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to go to that place. And so I started to wonder, do I have to let go of my business? And I wasn't okay with that. There was a big piece of me that was being fulfilled inside of my business that honestly was not being fulfilled inside of my other relationships.
That's
it just wasn't.
Reality.
And it was just me as a designer was not being stretched and grown inside of motherhood. It wasn't. And so
you know what's important on that too? I know I'm interrupting. You know what's important on that?
Go for it.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I think everyone needs to hear that that's actually okay.
Yeah.
That there's portions of you as a woman, even as a man, that will never be fulfilled by a mother, being a mother, a father, a spouse, whatever, anything else. There's portions of those relationships that will not fulfill certain parts of you, and that's okay.
Yes, it is. And so I started looking for a model, somebody who proved that all of this was compatible, that I could somehow make all of those areas I loved, could they all come together in my life in a way where it all worked? And I was looking for examples, somebody who proved that I could be a present mother who was taking her kids to soccer games and maybe making cinnamon rolls on the weekends.
Yum.
And shipping my products all over the world. Like, is that possible? And keep in mind, this was like 2007, 2008. Facebook only had, I think, weird high school kids. Nobody was using it for business.
Oh, the good
I was
old days,
limited to
right?
magazines. Magazines and books from the library, which, by the way, were mostly men's stories. Not that that's bad, but it wasn't fully relatable to my story. And so I was like, is this possible? And I started to have this immense fear. And one day I had a new thought, and you're a man of faith and you get this. This new thought was not my own. And it was, Katie, you understand creation. So while you might not see the example, the life, the person who proves that this is possible, you know creation. And you can go create her. And that's when I started to realize I wasn't just building a business. I was creating a woman.
Yeah.
Somebody I hadn't been up until that point in my life. And I seriously took my creation process that I knew for products. And I was like, okay, we are creating a woman who has a business, who's present with her kids, who speaks to God on a daily basis, who goes on dates with her husband, and who ships products all over the world. I'm like, I might not see her, but I can become her. And that was the process of how I built my business. And honestly, Rick, like, that has been the number one core to the success that I have experienced in my life, which is not trivial. I mean, my products are sold in 2,000 stores in the US. I've got distribution in 26 different countries. I've been featured on the Ellen Show, the Rachael Ray Show, the Today Show. I've been on the cover of Entrepreneur Magazine. Like, pretty cool stuff. And oh, by the way, had 4 kids along the way. So, like, that question of how do I do this in a way where not only does it not destroy my life, but can I do this in a way where it enhances my ability to be a mother? It enhances my ability to be a present wife. It enhances even my role as a daughter of God. And that was the question. And it's still the question that I'm asking today.
I love it. Let's get down to some nitty gritty now. Maybe just 2 or 3 things that help you do this on a daily basis. Because we've got the overview, right? And you wrote it down, you put intention into it. It's that's high level, 30,000 feet. But when you're in a day to day, what are 2 or 3 things? It doesn't have to be on a daily basis you do these, but maybe on a weekly basis or whatever that helps you keep all of these areas in alignment the way you need them in alignment.
Yeah. So I have a morning routine, and I didn't in the beginning. I was actually starting to tell you that story. I realized it one morning when my toddler woke me up. And as I woke up that morning, I was like, I'm waking up this way every day, and it sucks. And he was hitting me in the forehead with his empty milk bottle saying, more milk, mommy, more milk. And that's how I was starting my day. And I was like, this is not working. And one morning I woke up and he hadn't come in yet. And I slipped on some yoga pants and I slipped out of the house. I was not a gym person. I wasn't actually even a yoga person. I wasn't a runner, but I was like, today I become a runner because I'm getting out of there and I'm getting time to myself. So that's when I first started. And first it was walking around the block, then walking around the block a couple times. Then winter hit and I was like, I guess I need a gym membership. Then I joined the gym and I built off of that over the course of the years. And I have a daily routine that includes prayer, scripture study, physical exercise, like actually looking in the eyes of all of the humans in my home. And, how are you doing? Good morning. I love you. Breakfast with these people, with my family. And then I have a daily meeting with my team. It's a quick, short meeting. And then I hop into client calls, podcast interviews. I do interview series myself. I have my own podcast, What's Working Now. And I have groups that I coach. And I do that until about 2:30 most days. I try and be done by 3. And then it's family time. And maybe we go to the beach. Maybe we go to the farmer's market. Maybe we just hang out at the house, at the pool in our backyard. But that is kind of how I've done that. So the first thing is to have a daily routine. The second, I would say, is have a date night with your spouse. It is very easy when life gets really busy to start living separate lives. And I'm guilty of this. Like in about 2016, I was like, guess what? You're awesome, but I don't feel like you're my spouse. I feel like maybe we're business partners and friends, but like don't feel like a spouse. And I want to feel that deep connection again. And so we talked about it and we made a decision that we're going to do date night every Thursday night. And sometimes I'm in charge of planning it. Sometimes he's in charge of planning it. Sometimes a Costco run can turn into a date night, but we have a conversation about it.
Costco's the best, isn't it?
Costco, yeah. Costco's 30 minutes from here. So there's lots of time to talk in the car. But it's really about, checking in with each other. How are we doing as a couple? How are we doing as parents with our kids? And what are our goals and targets that we're working towards right now? How are we doing on that process? Sometimes date night is honestly even a whiteboarding session for us. So date night is a really big part of being able to manage all of these things. And then the third for me is my faith. It is very easy to get caught up in success, in fame, in attention, and things that ultimately don't matter. And so for me, having that consistent conversation where I am consistently praying, I'm consistently asking questions of a higher power, whatever that is for you. But having a meaning and a purpose that's greater than growing the revenue in my business.
So
that's
good.
Fun. That's cool. That's exciting. But what's the more meaningful reason behind that?
So good. Oh man. I love how you talk through all these things. And, even like a date night is not something that can and should be perfect, because the right. Things just happen and it's okay for those things just to happen. Just the same as your morning routine. Sometimes it's not going to be perfect either. I love how you mentioned right. That could even be a trip to Costco. And I think one of the important things to pull out of this is that even with all the amazing freaking things, right? It's like yesterday I was on CBS National about the Elon Musk deal in the middle of raising capital for my own acquisitions, right? Building $1 billion public company. You've been on the Ellen Degeneres Show and Rachael Ray and the Today Show and all these things. And you think, wow, if I were to take myself back a decade and I would see us, I would be like, oh my God, they're so amazing. Look at that. And almost unattainable. Right. But then when we talk about trips to Costco, we really are human, right? Yeah. We really are humans that screw up, that have to do everyday things just like anybody else. I had to go to Costco the other day just to transfer a prescription. Literally, that was the reason for me to stop. I might have stopped in the Scotch aisle because they always have some good deals on Scotch while I'm there, but I love Costco for that reason, right? But I still had to go in there myself and do these things. It's not a team thing. It's a human thing right. that you still have to do yourself, or stop and pick up a salmon, on the way home or something like that. These are real life scenarios that we live. It's just we've designed certain things, and especially you, Katie, you have designed so much amazing things in your life with intention. And I think that's why you really, really shine. So I appreciate you going through all of that. It's just been amazing. It's really applicable things. If you had one thing to say to everybody today, what would that be?
As you, the listener, are on your journey, you're going to come up against certain barriers, walls, things that are frustrating, things that you weren't expecting, that you weren't planning on. And they feel like, is this a sign from God, the universe, that I need to stop? And my answer to you is probably not. And maybe what you need in that moment is the strength and the courage and the confidence to move forward. And I remember a time when I didn't have that confidence to keep going. And I was ready to throw in the towel. And I was ready to tell God and the universe that, hey, look, you got the wrong girl. I tried, I put everything I had into this, and it is not working. And I just got a major door closed in my face, and I don't know how to move forward. And in that moment, my husband was there, and he believed in me. And I was able to push through that difficulty and move forward. And ultimately, like, it's what got me here today. And so I want to tell you, as you are going through your journey and you're coming up against those walls and you feel like you don't believe in yourself, I want you to know that Katie Richardson, mother of 4, a woman business coach in Puerto Rico, I believe in you and I know that you can do it. And lean on that in that difficult moment to find the solution, find the infinite possibility, and move yourself forward, because I believe in you.
Oh, so beautiful. I almost wanted to interrupt you and say, well, you're going to like Katie Richardson. I do all these things. It's like, and I still go to Costco.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, I love Costco. You're amazing and beautiful and brilliant. Thank you for coming on. Everyone, you need to go and listen to Katie's show, What's Working Now, because you'll get more of Katie and more of the awesomeness that just comes from her and the guests she has on. Go check that out at Instagram. You can also find her at katie.live. Yeah, Katie, thank you for coming on today and going all in.
Rick, it's been an honor and a pleasure. Really appreciate it. Thank you.